You have followed the tutorials, you have typed in the commands, and yet nothing. The ping fails, or worse, your lab just crashes. You are left wondering, what did I miss? Why do textbooks make it look so easy, and yet in your home lab, it's a constant battle? Today, I am showing you the hidden side of CCNA labs, the stuff you absolutely have to know to survive as a network engineer. Let's get into it. So this is a continuation of my video where I set up GNS3. So we'll go back to the first lab. Okay, it's open now. I'm going to import two PCs. So we're using our Cisco Alpine Linux. I will show you how to get it. And then I'm using the VPCs. I prefer to go from GNS3 VM. Click OK. And that's the VPC. It's a lightweight VPC inbuilt into GNS3. So Cisco Alpine Linux, I can name it Sales PC. And this one I will rename it Production PC. So put them in separate VLANs and name those VLANs likewise. Cisco Alpine Linux I have renamed Sales PC. If I put my mouse over it, you will see its amount of memory 51512. Another way to see it is by if I click on it and I click on Node, click on Configure, you will see the RAM 512. VPC, this is GNS3 inbuilt, very lightweight. So next thing I'll do now is I'll connect it. I will show you how to get it, and I'll put the link in the description box below on how to also get it from the Cisco CML free. So I'll click on this and a 0 all the way to 2/0. That's that. And then I power on the switch. Click on console in line switch 1. Click on the route R1, I'll click on node, I'll start it. So I also console in R1. I click on end devices, I click on new templates. Just follow the defaults. I'll click on next. So here I go to guests. There are two ways I can just type it there in that filter. I type in Linux. So here I prefer using the Linux appliances that use VLC. So what I do is I hover my mouse over it. For this one is using Telnet, I don't want that. Second Alpine Linux using Telnet, no, I don't want that. Same thing with the third one, but the Cisco Alpine Linux is using VNC. That's the one I want. That's the one I installed. The next, this one is also using VNC. Okay, and this Kali Linux. Later when we are doing cybersecurity, I will demonstrate Kali Linux. I have it downloaded already. So this is the way you can know the ones you using VNC and using Telnet. So we can also get tiny core. But let me show you for the Alpine Linux first. Click on it, click on install, just follow the default, next. And here, once you click on that link, that's the Alpine Trex 3-21-3 click on download. And you tell you it's going to redirect you to the site where you can download the file. So click on OK. And take it to the Cisco account. But I will put the link in the description box below for those of you that want it. So that is that. About that. Now the other one, if you don't want to register with Cisco and you need to use Linux, you can also use it. There are several free Linux out there. Now you can just type Linux. You can come to Tiny Core. Tiny Core is 128 MB. That's the RAM is using. So very light, super lightweight, even lighter than the Cisco one, but it's outdated. So I'll click on install, click on next, next. And any file you want here, let's say this is the file you want. I'll click on download. Direct to my default browser. Direct there to just download automatically. I don't need it. So I prefer working with the HTML. So that's the way it is. And once you've downloaded it, you click on import. You can go to your download folder, whatever is there, and just import it, and that's all. That's the way we imported the switch and the router in the previous video, GNS3 Rails setup. So now let's power them on. Click on my sales PC, click on node, and click on start. Then I click on node again at console in to open the VNC. So while that one is going on, I click on production PC, click on node, click on start. For those of you that are reluctant to download the Linux, you can just use the inbuilt. Turning to this video, this lab, you will get the same result. So click on start again, click on node, click on console. So the first thing here, I'll set the name, set PC name. It's not compulsory. If you don't feel like it's okay. Production. So I'll show IP. So let me check my sales PC. Okay, here I'll use root, hit enter, and I'll click login. That is what works for me. The Cisco does not work. I don't know, but the root works. So now that it is up, and double click the scale auto so that it can fit into my screen. And then I open the terminal window. So ifconfig. This is one way to practice Linux, because as a network or cloud network engineer, it's good to know Linux. So now let me go to my switch and enable the VLANs. And I'll say config T, say VLAN. Let me do show VLAN brief. So we need to give it, so VLAN 11, name, sales. Arrow up, VLAN 12, name, production. And then I can just say interface VLAN 11, IP address 192.168.11.254.255.255.255.0. Say exit. Interface VLAN 12, IP address 192.168.12.254.255.255.255.0. I say no shot. Now it's very important to verify. So now do show IP interface brief. You can see we did not, so we need to no shot the interface VLAN 11, no shot. Otherwise we will not be able to get what we want to get. So now let me give my sales PC an IP address of 11. I say, first of all, I want to change the MAC address so that we're able to easily track it on our switch. So I'll say ifconfig ETA 0 down. Now I'll say up. So we can verify by saying the ifconfig it 0. Okay, so that's it. So that is that. So next thing, I'll say ifconfig to give it the IP address 192.168.11.1. Net mask 255.255.255.0. So now I'll just say route, give it the default gateway, given our default gateway on the switch, route our default gateway 192.168.11.254. How do you verify? Say ifconfig ETA 0. The route is a route from a numeric form. So you can see that's our default route. So let's try pinging. Ping 192.168.11.254. It's not working. Let me say ping it 5 times. Not working. So I'll come to my switch and I'll say show VLAN brief sales. If you notice, there is no interface connected to it. Production 2, same thing. The biggest lie in CCNA prep is that the labs are plug and play. In reality, it's about troubleshooting. You are not just learning protocols, you are learning how to read errors. Whether it is DNS VM acting up, or an interface that refuses to come up, or a ping interface to work, it comes down to majorly 3 things: misconfiguration, issues, routing, or security rules. So if you skip the verification steps, what you are just doing as a network engineer is you are guessing. You have to make sure you verify your connectivity. That way, you are not guessing, because that is what will help you in the real world, in an enterprise environment. So here we can see our issue here. We couldn't ping from the sales production PC. So what do we need to do? I need to put the interface in the right VLANs. And now, first thing first, in the real world, if I do show interface status, it will only show connected for the interfaces that are connected. Whereas in the GNS3 lab, there's a way around it. One, we can do this. We can just check this way. Click on the interface to see, okay, which interface is connected to. Okay, it's 1/0 or 2/0. Or in the lab, on the switch, I can just say show MAC address dynamic. This works too. So this one now, because I gave you this MAC address, I know, okay, that is the MAC address of that PC. So I just do config. That interface E1/0. I'll say spanning tree, because port fast. I'll say spanning tree port fast. Then I'll say switch port mode access, switch port access VLAN 11. Now, if I say show spanning tree interface E, you can see the interface is already up. 1/0 is going up. The other one I will show you guys, if we don't put the spanning tree port fast, it is going to go through the spanning tree for delay process, which is not needed because we are connected to a PC. So we don't need, the delay will be an overkill, especially in the enterprise world. So now let's go back there to sales. And now let me ping again now. You can see it's working. And I can also verify by saying show ARP. That's one way. I can say show MAC address dynamic. Now we can see this in VLAN 11. So now let's put the other one in VLAN 12. That's the production PC. VLAN brief. Production PC. So now for this one, I will omit the spanning tree port fast for you guys to see it, the delay. Then I will correct it, because there is another way to correct that one too. So yes, I ping it again. Maybe let's see whether it will pop up. You can verify this. You can see this is the MAC address 00506968. And then if I come to the PC and I do show IP, you can see this is the MAC address. So that's that. So I now say interface E2/0, switch port mode access, switch port access VLAN 12. Now if I do show spanning tree interface E2/0, as you can see, it's going through the blocking state. This is what we call the spanning tree forward delay process because the port is an access port. Learning, time wasting. Enterprise world, this is a lot of time. So we let it go to forwarding, I'll bring it down, and then I'll connect it again, and then you see. Okay, you can see now it's up, so it's forwarding now. So what I'm going to do now, because this is not efficient enough, default interface E2/0, do show run interface E2/0 is back to default. You say do show MAC address, table dynamic. You can see it's not even showing anymore. Okay, if I do the ping again, now another method we can use instead of me giving this spanning tree port fast, I can just say interface E2/0, switch port host, and then switch port access VLAN 12. So show spanning tree interface E2/0, and see it's forwarding automatically. So these are the two methods. And then if we ping now, it's working. The first one for ARP, and that's it. So if I say show ARP, show MAC address table dynamic. So that's that up. We have verified that from our sales, we can ping our switch 1. From production, we can ping switch 1. Now I can switch 1 ping R1. So you can see even the interface VLAN is down. That's why the fact that it is up. And how do we verify that? We say show VLAN brief. You see there is no interface attached. There are two ways. If you come here, click on show interface and check, okay, 0/0 is connected to R1. If I do show MAC address dynamic, okay, it is already showing us there. So, and if we do show CDP neighbors is working because they are both Cisco. So now I just say interface E0/0 switch port host, switch port access VLAN 10. The same thing, immediately to forward. So I'll just say ping. You can see the interface is up immediately. 10.1.1.1. That's it. So MAC address table dynamic. So if you want to stop the guessing game, I put together a full lab walkthrough on how to troubleshoot these exact scenarios in a lab environment. It's linked right here on the screen right here. So what is the secret? Stop typing ping. For instance here, don't just type ping and give up. Check verification workflow. Here, we have to type route, check the route, see the switch, verify, do show MAC address dynamic table, show IP route, 2 on the switch. If the route is not here, verify why. Is interface down? Do show IP interface brief. Building a lab is only 20% of the job. Troubleshooting is 80% of it. When you master troubleshooting, you are not just a student, you are an engineer. If this video helped you clear that hurdle, please hit the like button, smash subscribe, and join the journey. Until next time, keep learning, keep building, and keep the packets flowing.